Ever thought about why some people find it calming to take drags from a vape, cigar, cigarette, or whatever else, even though, as we may know, it's not the best habit? Alright, so let's talk about something kind of fascinating. Breathing, and why it has this incredible power to help us chill out. Think about this. Some people turn to vape pens or even a quick smoke to find that sense of calm or focus. It's not always about what's in the vape or the cigarette, but often it's the deep inhale and exhale that's doing a lot of the work. But what if you could get that same sense of peace without needing to pick up a vape or anything else? That's where breathwork comes in. When we breathe consciously with intention, it does something amazing in our bodies. It sends a signal to our brain basically saying, hey, you're safe, you can relax, and it's time to let go. This is why practices like yoga, meditation, or mindfulness all revolve around the breath. It's like this bridge between the mind and the body, helping us find balance and peace. Breath. The silent power that's been within us since the dawn of time, the dawn of our time here in the physical. Across ages, from temples to modern labs, we're still uncovering its secrets. Why is breath work or intentional breathing more than just breathing? Breath is life. It might sound a bit out there, but for thousands of years, cultures all over the world have believed that our breath is actually more than just air. In ancient Egypt, they call it tija. In yoga, it's prana, and in Chinese medicine, it's qi. All of these words have a similar meaning, which is life force, that which grants life. Basically, breath isn't just the oxygen we need to survive. These ancient teachings saw breath as this powerful energy that connects our mind, body, and spirit, kind of like an invisible thread weaving everything together. Think about that the next time you inhale. You're actually drawing in more than just air. It's like you're breathing in existence itself. And get this, some ancient practices believe that every breath we take is a way to connect with something bigger than ourselves, like a little reminder of that deeper wisdom and calm that lives within all of us. So each breath, every inhale and exhale, is kind of like a secret doorway that leads us back to balance or peace or even understanding. When you take a deep, slow breath, you're not just calming your body, you're tapping into this universal flow. You're syncing up with something ancient, something that people have felt and known for centuries. And this connection is all around us, even if we don't see it. So yeah, we all know that breathing keeps us alive, but when you tune into it this way, it can also help you feel holistically well and more alive. Not just like you're existing, but rather like you're really living and thriving. Okay, picture this. There's this cute little mountain village that feels like it's straight out of a storybook. And right in the middle, there's this giant bell tower. Now, here's the thing. The villagers ring the bell every time there's an emergency. If there's a fire, ding, ding, ding. A wild animal on the prowl, ding, ding, ding. But here's the catch. Sometimes the bell rings for no reason at all. Maybe a bird lands on it, or the wind blows just right, and boom, the bell starts going off. And the whole town goes into full panic mode. People start running around, freaking out about something that's not even real. Sound familiar? It's like when your mind starts spiraling over a text message or that one comment at work, and you're constantly in a state of stress, even though the situation might not be as urgent as your brain is making it out to be. So, one day, this wise, calm old villager, let's call her Ava, decides she's had enough of all the false alarms. She's like, okay, enough is enough. We need a better way to deal with this. Ava, who has always had a peaceful presence, spends her days in nature, and has learned how to center herself, is a perfect guide in this situation. She says, when that bell rings, let's not react right away. Let's take a step back, breathe, and really think about whether we need to be freaking out or if it's just the wind making noise. Ava sets up this cozy little room underneath the bell tower. It's got soft blankets, warm cushions, and a peaceful vibe that invites people to pause. She tells the villagers, every time the bell rings, come here to sit down and breathe with me. I'll guide you through a few deep breaths, and we'll just take a moment to check in with ourselves. You know, when you're stressed, sometimes your breathing gets shallow and quick, and you can't think clearly. Breathwork has this incredible ability to bring you back into your body and center your mind. It's backed by science, too. Slowing down your breath activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is like a built-in relax button for your body. It helps lower cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, and brings your heart rate down. At first, the villagers are a little skeptical. They're used to running around reacting to the bell every time it rings. Some of them think Ava's approach is too chill. But what if it's a real emergency, they ask? How will we know we're supposed to be panicking? Ava smiles and says, you'll know because your breath will tell you. She explains that just like the bell, our breath often reacts before our mind does. Quick, shallow, or erratic breathing can be a signal that we're responding from a place of stress, not clarity. But by practicing slow, deep breathing, they can train themselves to pause and assess the situation with a clear mind, whether it's a real emergency or just a moment of false alarm. Over time, the villagers start to realize something incredible. Every time the bell rings, they don't just react. They check in with their breath first. If their breath is shallow or fast, they pause, breathe deeply, and settle into their bodies. They realize that most of the time they don't need to react at all. The bell could be ringing for a bird or the wind, but they don't have to jump into stress mode just because it's there. By connecting breathwork with their mindfulness practice, they're learning how to be present in the moment. Breathwork, meditation, and yoga are all wellness practices that work together to help you tune into your body and calm the mind. And when a real emergency finally does happen, let's say an actual fire or a wild animal, they're able to stay grounded. Their breath is steady, their minds are clear, and they respond with confidence instead of fear. Alright, so let's really get into these powerful benefits of conscious or intentional breathing. Every time we take a mindful breath, we're doing way more than just inhaling and exhaling. We're actually helping our body and mind in some pretty incredible ways. When we consciously breathe or intentionally breathe, we're actually giving our mind a little break, telling it to chill out and slow down. You know those times when your stress level is on the rise and everything feels kind of chaotic and a bit all over the place and out of sync? Well, conscious breathing can actually reduce anxiety and lower cortisol levels. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and that booger bear can cause all kind of issues, making us feel tense and anxious, and it's also said to be able to gift us with a couple of extra pounds on the weight limit, if you know what I mean. Now here's something cool you might not have expected. Conscious breathing can actually help your immune system. When we consciously or unconsciously breathe deeply, to be more specific, we get more oxygen flowing through our body, which helps our cells to function better and our organs to function better than best, making it easier for our body to stay strong and fight off anything that comes its way. I believe this may be why, or at least a contributor to how exercise of all types can be immunity boosting. All that heavy breathing and huffing and puffing does more than we may ask it to, and that's more than okay in the most awesome way. Spiritually speaking, we're breathing in life itself, letting this fresh energy renew us and flow through every cell, making us stronger from the inside out. Each breath is like a fresh start. Have you ever heard of drunken monkey syndrome? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but it's what I personally refer to as random mind chatter that seems to not want to cut off and makes you so distracted from the present moment and life that you find yourself not really living, to say the least. Conscious breathing is the peace pill remedy for that. It can sober that drunk monkey right on up. And when we calm our breath, we calm our whole mind too, bringing it back to center and sitting it down to be still. When we take deep, calming breaths, it helps us to slow down those racing thoughts, making it easier to concentrate on what's right in front of us. It's like we're quieting all that background noise in our head, creating a clear, calm space for focus. Now, let's get into the ancient roots of breathwork because, believe it or not, people have been using these breathing techniques for thousands of years. It's kind of wild to think about it, right? Long before breathwork became a trend, ancient cultures saw it as this powerful, almost mystical tool. I mean, they literally believed that each breath was like tapping into the universe itself. Take yoga, for example. In yoga, breathwork is called pranayama, and it's all about controlling your breath to bring energy into your body, calm your mind, and connect with something bigger. They didn't just think of breathing as in and out, they saw it as prana, like pure life force flowing through you. And then there's Taoist breathing from ancient China, which is this whole other layer of mystery. In Taoism, breathwork is a way to balance your qi, which is this invisible energy that keeps you in harmony with the world. They'd use these slow, controlled breaths to keep their qi flowing, keeping them grounded, strong, and connected. And let's not forget about shamanic breathwork. In some indigenous cultures, people use breath to connect with their spirit or the spirit world. It's like this super deep, almost trippy experience where they believe they're connecting with their inner wisdom, ancestors, or even the universe, like that which was portrayed in Marvel's Black Panther movie. Breath becomes a tool for healing, transformation, and clarity. Oh, and we have to talk about ancient Egypt too, because they were totally in on this breathwork magic. In ancient Egypt, they had a word for breath that went beyond just air. It was called tija. To them, tija, like the others, wasn't just about staying alive. It was seen as this sacred, life-giving force, kind of like a pathway between the physical world and the spirit. The Egyptians believed that with every breath, they were connecting with their higher self, their ancestors, and even the gods. Think about that. Every inhale was seen as pulling in this divine energy, and every exhale was letting go of anything that didn't serve them. They viewed tija as the essence of life itself, flowing through everything. So, when we take those deep, mindful breaths today, it's kind of like we're keeping the ancient tradition alive. We're connecting with the same life force that the Egyptians, yogis, Taoists, and shamans believe in. With every breath, we're syncing up with that same sacred rhythm. It's kind of amazing to think we're carrying on this age-old practice that has so much depth and meaning. Okay, now that we've talked about the magic and history of breathwork, let's try a simple breathing practice together. We're going to do a deep breathing technique inspired by the great Iyanla Vanzant in her book, The Spirit of a Man. This technique is all about tapping into the energy that lives within us, helping us feel calm, strong, and alive. Here's something cool if you want to take it a step further. If you have a blood pressure cuff or a way to check your pulse or heart rate, try taking it before we start and again after we finish. You might actually see a difference right there on the numbers. This exercise is simple, but it can have a real effect on your body, not only your mind. Sit or stand with your back nice and straight. Feel yourself grounded and connected to the earth with your shoulders relaxed and your heart open. Deeply exhale through your nose. Let out all the air you've got and then exhale again through your nose just to make sure you've released every last bit. This double exhale is like a reset, emptying out any stress or tension. Now slowly inhale through your nose while letting your stomach gently expand. Don't force it, just feel the natural expansion, even allowing your back to open up a bit as you breathe in deeply. Then, when you've taken in as much air as feels right, slowly exhale again through your nose, drawing the stomach in as you let the air out, like you're gently pressing out all that stale energy. When you think you're done exhaling, give a little extra blow out through your nose. It's like the final touch, just to make sure you're totally emptied out. Relax and let your body rest for 3 to 5 seconds, and just enjoy the pause, the calm space in between breaths. And then begin again. Keep going with this rhythm for at least 3 minutes, letting each breath bring you deeper into that calm, centered space. Now, as you're breathing, notice how your body feels. Each inhale is bringing in fresh life, like you're recharging from the inside out. Each exhale is letting go, leaving space for peace and grounding. You might feel a little lighter, a little clearer, and even a little more energized. If you checked your pulse or blood pressure before we started, take it again now and see if there's a difference. Even if you don't check, just notice how your body and mind feel. Breathing like this can create a real shift, helping us feel more centered and connected. Now that we've experienced just how powerful breathwork can be, let's talk about picking the right technique for whatever's going on in your day. Just like you choose an outfit that fits the vibe or the weather, different breathing techniques can fit different moods and situations. So here are some tips on choosing the one that's perfect for you. If you're feeling stressed or anxious, you just need to relax. Go for a technique that slows things down. Something like the 4-7-8 breathing or box breathing is perfect here. These techniques are all about taking slower breaths, which helps your body to shift into chill mode. You're telling your mind it's all good, and your body follows along, calming down with each breath. Now, if you're feeling sleepy or dragging through the day, you'll need a little boost, right? That's when you'll try something more energizing like the Kapalapati breath or breath of fire. These are quick, powerful breaths that wake up your whole system. It's like your own personal espresso shot, but without the caffeine jitters. For those times when you're trying to concentrate, whether it's a work task, studying, or even just trying to get something done without a million distractions, try alternate nostril breathing or the solar lunar breath. These techniques balance the left and right sides of your brain, helping you to feel focused and clear-headed. It's perfect for finding that Zen state when you've got a lot on your plate. And finally, if everything feels like too much, go for something simple and grounding like diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. Just place a hand on your stomach, inhale deeply, and feel your belly rise. This one brings you back to your center, calming both the mind and body. It's a gentle reminder that no matter how crazy life gets, you've got this calm space within you. Remember, each breathing technique is like its own little spell, with unique purpose and vibe. Whether you're calming down, powering up, focusing in, or grounding yourself, there's a breath for that. It's kind of amazing to think that by simply choosing how we breathe, we're also choosing how we feel, how we react, and how we move through life. So next time you're feeling a certain way, ask yourself, what kind of breath will serve me best right now? And go with it, knowing that with every inhale and exhale, you're connecting to that deeper energy within you. Isn't that the coolest superpower? Remember, it's not just air, it's a moment. It's you connected to something far beyond. Thank you for paving a way into the power of your breath.